I think, CJ, on for parking, looking at, part of this also want to understand kind of barriers to entry in this sector. I think that it's, a lot of folks may look at senior living and say, all right, I know a site I can build something or do, or data centers, wow, I can put something up and get some. What are the kind of barriers to entries to your guys' businesses? And I know parking, talking about parking a bit, is, how many are there? Are they building new ones? And what's the competition for sites?
Well, it's funny. Most urban planners, most healthcare admins, university admins see parking as the redheaded stepchild of land use. There's always a higher and better use than parking. No one wants to do it. In fact, my partner was mildly impressed that I was going to be the speaking about the parking as an expert until he found out that I'm the backup parking expert. So, the barriers are, the reality is the cash flow is excellent. It's a great business, but there's no supply because there is no one wanting to use that land for parking. Actually, the parking ratios for new commercial buildings is going down. It used to be 4 per 1,000 as a rule of thumb, mostly for healthcare. That's going down. It's going down in urban areas because they're all making an assumption that with TOD, transit-oriented development, with the gig economy, Uber, Lyft, with someday, which, by the way, is not going to be in the next 10 years, driverless cars, you don't need as much parking. Those are all assumptions. And they'd rather use parking for something else. So the reality is the most difficult part about being in this business or being a parking investor is finding investments. It's not underwriting them. It's definitely not financing them. And and it's not. And operating them does take a certain skill set. It took me a bunch of years to figure it out because I stumbled into the parking sector through the healthcare sector. And the first 5 years were not fun. I made every single mistake you could possibly make, and probably a couple twice.